I'm really excited to share more about what we do at Godiragetse Speed. And yeah, so we are Godiragetse Speed. We specialize in township deliveries. And by that, we do them at low cost and obviously speed. And we share more about how we do that on the next slide. What we've realized when we still Godiragetse Speed, and one of the main things that we realized is that in South Africa, the townships are mainly far from the main economic center. Due to the sins of our past, townships are set out in that way that, they're not as close as, we would like them to be to the main center. And the maps in townships are terrible. There's no accurate addresses. If there is an address and you try to put it on one of the apps that we use for maps, it just does not work, or it won't pull out the address, which makes it very difficult, right, for anyone to do deliveries in those areas. And that's why there would be a surcharge, in terms of delivering into townships by other delivery companies. And that's where we come in and we say it doesn't make sense, right, for that people in the township who are most of the time in the lower LSM have to pay more just to get deliveries from the e-commerce platforms, but also their deliveries take longer because they're in townships. And how we solve that is on the next slide. We've now prioritize our business to only focus on township delivery. And we do that by specializing in township deliveries and basically aggregating all the orders that are going into townships from other courier companies to use us as the primary delivery partner into townships. Because again, our brand, it stands out with the community. The community can resonate with our brand because we hire locals. That means that we don't get as attacked, especially in terms of crime, because that's one of the elements that, other courier companies would say that it's really difficult to deliver into townships because of crime. And in our experience, because we hire locals, that has never been the case. We're able to navigate through these roads in the townships and exceptionally deliver speed. But also what we've done is to put collection points, around tuck shops or internet cafes or any small business that is in the township. That way, if the customer, is not home to receive their parcel, we just drop it by the nearest collection point. And when they get back home, they can literally walk to the collection point and deliver and collect the point. And this is something that, makes much more sense in townships than in urban areas. Because unlike in urban areas, in townships, you can't leave the order by the security because there's no security. You can't leave the order next door because you don't know who's next door and you don't know if you're going to get your parcel when you come back home. So collection points have become something that we believe, especially in e-commerce in South Africa, it's something that's really going to be a game changer. And based on the how we do our business, we've been able to attract some good clients. So we now do SPA deliveries on the SPA to You app, very similar to Checker 6060. We do these orders in townships. And again, it's all about, getting a big brand, that wants to penetrate the township instead of bringing their own, delivery partners and all that. It's working with the people in the community, which for us as a business has some bit of lessons into it, because we've learned that, as long as you're good where you are, when someone wants to come into that environment, they have to work with the best person in that place. So that has really helped us to get, quite a lot of clients into townships. If you go into the next slide, you will see we also do distribution into townships. So most of the time when you are at a shop, either a popular shop, in a township, and they say they don't have this particular item or they're out of this item, it basically means it's a logistic problem, right? There's a truck that just couldn't come there on time. There's an order that was not made on time to get to that retail store, and that's basically distribution. So for the same reasons that, townships are far out, not only for e-commerce orders, but also for distribution, right? So stock takes longer to get to townships, which again doesn't make sense for a business like ours. And that's why we come in and, and solve that problem to make sure that even retail businesses, if you can go to the next slide, even retail businesses are able to get their stock speed. And these are some of the clients that we have. So we have Bidvest Waltons, where we supply all the banks with stationery, that's paper, that's printer, ink. If you go to a bank, a popular bank in a township, and they say they're out of paper, they can't print out your statement, that's a logistic problem. And we come in and make sure that they get their paper, they get their resources on time to ensure that they give their customers a brilliant service overall. So these are some of the businesses that we work with. We actually launched in 2021. And when we launched, we literally started as a food delivery app. Not even an app. We started as on WhatsApp because we really wanted to get to understand what the customers, want from us. And because we didn't have funding or anything like that, we started on a platform, that everybody in the township used, which was WhatsApp at the time. And within, 6 months, we'd already done over 1 million in terms of sales just on WhatsApp. But that meant that we needed to, innovate and automate most of our processes and systems. That's how we were able to get an app that helped us, with a payment gateway, with customer experience, and the business was able to scale to 4 provinces as we are today. But we also now had to make some few changes, right, to become more of a logistic business. And that's also after seeing how bad, it is to participate in townships, especially in logistics. There's no one single company in South Africa that prioritizes township deliveries. All the companies that are doing logistics, they see townships as a second option. And for us as Godiragetse Speed, we see logistics as a great, enabler for employment, mainly because of the fact that you don't need high skills, right, to hire a lot of people in this industry. So there's a big unemployment issue in townships, and we see logistics being one of the industries that can hire a lot of young people. And if you see on our next slide, only 6% of shopping that happens in South Africa is online, and that's a big gap. Only 6% of shopping that happens in South Africa is only online, and that's at a 71 billion rand, and that was last year. It's estimated to go to 10% this year, and that's at 100 billion. So e-commerce is growing in South Africa, right? And we as entrepreneurs, especially the ones that are township-based, we need to take advantage of that. We need to be on the forefront, not only as consumers, but also as producers. There's so many young people in the townships who want to sell online, but because they are far from the city, if they request a pickup collection for their product, it's going to take longer, which will ultimately mean that their customers will not get their products much quicker. So we come in as Godiragetse Speed and we say, let's help all these young people, let's help all these small businesses that are based in townships and connect them to the rest of the world through our platforms. So that's us, that's Godiragetse Speed, and we're really looking forward to sharing more about our business.